G'day guys, how you going? And welcome to Sumo's Projects. This is my entry into the 2018 Pallet Upcycle Challenge. That's run just about every year that I've been involved in the YouTube community, but this is my first time I've entered, so it's something put on by Simply Wooden Creations, and it's a plays host to makers from all over the world who can make something out of a bit of pallet wood, and it's a fantastic idea and concept. So this is a mountain bike manual slash mono machine. So I'm not going to highlight to you how it works because there's a lot of people a lot fitter than I am who can perhaps get a better balance. But essentially what it's all about is to be able to lift the bike up and try to work on one's balance when doing a mono trick in the mountain biking scene and circuits. So it's a great idea. I've used all pallet wood here. You'll see me break them down in a minute. And I've made this a little bit adjustable here, so it locks in the wheel into the little catch at the back here. And I shall show you a little bit of footage of some guys who are very good at doing this and how it actually works. So the key part to this is to find your balance point and to be able to rock back with confidence, knowing that you're not going to fall backwards fully, and eventually you'll be able to do things like this. Now the idea for this come about from a work colleague, a mate of mine, Peter, and he wanted this made, and then he would donate this over to the Yangs Mountain Bike Club, who will probably get a great use out of it. And for that idea, I thought I love doing things where it can go to a beneficial cause. So finding pallet wood in Australia is relatively easy, but you sort of have to know a little bit about what type of wood you want to use, and perhaps look at some of the warning codes that are embedded on some of the pallets. Pallets are heat treated, they're used dipped in different sort of chemicals, and that's just to give them a little bit more endurance, especially if it's coming from overseas. So you just have to be a little bit more attentive there. Pallets I'm using, they're pretty generic Australian made pallets, and nothing too dangerous was sort of transported upon these pallets. I'm using a set of pliers and a hammer here, just to straighten the nails, the bottom of the nails up, and then I'll give them a tap and simply flip them over and remove the nails. And there's quite a few to be taken out here. A little passing shower there, nothing too severe. I'm laying down one of these longer bits of pallet wood and just marking out roughly to what size I want to cut this this bottom rung to. Once the pieces have been cut to an approximate size, it's then over to the jointer and also the thicknesser, and the process of just doing all the machining that's necessary, because these are rough sawn pine, and they're not meant to be, I suppose the makers of these probably weren't looking at someone grabbing them and making a little project out of them. So it's a bit of a process here, but once you get into the swing of things and plan out how you're going to do your machining, it's quite easy. These particular boards here are from the second pallet that I broke down. They were quite a substantial thickness, and they had a little bit of width to them. I find if you're looking for pallet wood, always try to find something that's a little bit more dimensional, because it's obviously easier to work it down to sizes that may be necessary for any project that you're undertaking. On to starting up some of the joinery. I'm using pocket holes to attach this backing part of the catch-all, the little box I'm making, to the rail, and then over to the router table, and putting roundovers on all the parts. Here's basically part of my cut list. They come up quite nice when you look at it there. So I'm doing some of the attaching work here. This, as I said, this is going to be the backing part where the back of the wheel sort of locks in. I was given an approximate of about 15 inches to work within, or an equated 350 mil approximately. And I'm also now pre-drilling these sides. This makes up the rest of the box and attaching it with screws. So I had to refer a little bit at times with my work colleague Peter about some of the dimensions of what he wanted here. It was pretty flexible, and a lot of the measurements sort of came about by just using my mountain bike to determine, where good balance points were. So my mate was saying he wanted it adjustable, so different size, different diameter tyres and wheels. They've obviously got to have a little bit of wiggle room to, securely put them in. So I just made up I've got a T-bolt, and I'm putting a wooden washer on the bottom, stop the T-bolt from going all the way through, and just rigged up this little thing here. So the thing is, this will come through, and we'll put our T-nut on top, and we'll have that adjustability. So let's go and put that on now, and just a little bit of extra bracing, and we're nearly ready to call this job finished. So looking forward to seeing the end of this beauty. This particular part here just slides up and down and locks the back wheel into place. And the final step here, just a little bit more bracing, and we'll call this job just about complete. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's very much appreciated. And just before you go, I would love it if you could